Hello. I know you haven't seen me in a long time, and I haven't seen you in a long time either. It's nice to see you, but let's keep it short. I'm about to give you one of the most important pieces of advice if you want to improve at chess. It's your thought process. You need to fix that. And today we are going to address that directly. This is probably not going to be the one and only part of this series because it is something that it takes a little bit longer of time to fix, but once you get it done, you're going to see a bunch of improvements. And I'm sure after this video, you're going to be able to implement some new things into your game that is going to help you win a bunch more. So let's start by playing a blitz game where I'm going to show my exact thought process, how I respond to every single one of my opponent's moves, and how you need to respond to them as well. We're going to play e4. The opponent now plays e5 and I'm going to develop the knight. See, now my opponent isn't really that high rated, but we're going to play an opening that is going to lead them into a deep dark forest like Mikhail Tal likes to say. This is going to be a very interesting video because my opponent is not the kind of opponent I usually get. You know, usually I play against 2000, 2800, stuff like that. And now I'm playing against an opponent that is under 1000 level rated. And you might be thinking like, why? Why would you pick such an opponent to show an educational video? Well, I'm going to keep it short. So first of all, you need to understand things in your opponent's elo, and I know that a bunch of you are lower rated, and that's what we are here to improve. And second of all, from these videos, and because these people don't really play that opening from these type of positions, I can help you understand the most things. So I started e4, e5, the Scotch game, and then he pushed. I kept it simple. I took a pawn, they took a pawn, I took the queen, traded because I didn't want to lose the rights to castle. They didn't want it either, so now I attacked the pawn. They attack my knight and pin it at the same time, so I cannot take the pawn, but I do block with my pawn, attacking the bishop at the same time, enabling me to capture the pawn afterwards. The bishop is now under attack, they have to move, and here is the position we have. I'm simply going to develop the bishop because active pieces are very important, and you see what they do is they attack my knight. I'm going to drop back, attacking the bishop with a tempo, so I move the knight out of the way, and now they decide to take an underdeveloped knight. Why is this good for us? You may be thinking, it is just a trade, right? Well, no, because his piece was active, my piece was underdeveloped, and it wouldn't really go to a useful square in the near future. That's why it's actually quite good that we got this, even though our rook is staring into nothingness. We're just going to castle, and now what the opponent is probably going to do is castle as well, but you cannot really always predict what the opponent does. So here I'm going to develop my bishop. Developing all the pieces is something that you need to do, and that's why I'm going to develop my bishop, attacking the knight at the same time. If they push here, you can see my pawn that I advanced earlier on enabled me to sort of get this position right here that if they push, I would be able to take. And after they take back, they would have a pawn island, which is not necessarily good for them. They attack my knight. Always, and I'm saying always, look for what your opponent is trying to achieve. So they're trying to attack this pawn, and I protect it. Responding to your opponent is usually a very, very good thing to do. Now, I'm going to set up a trap. If they now think that they can take this pawn, I'm going to take over here, they're going to take over here, I'm going to take over here, and I am still up a pawn. And they could have gone wrong pretty easily, because if they decided to take here, I would be up a bunch of material, but they did the right thing, and for now, the material is staying the same as before. Okay, they are attacking my pawn. I'm just simply going to retreat back. If they happen to take, I'm going to take back with the rook. An active rook and a pawn up is all we need to win. And this is all you should win to. You should need to win, so that's what we're here for. Always respond to your opponent's things. You see why I chose this square. Let me first go back. If you see, I couldn't go here because the knight is protecting it, and you could even draw out the arrows if it helps you. I cannot move here because the rooks. I cannot move here because of the knight. and if I move here, it's because of the other knight, so this was the only square that was protected, and it only was protected by the rook. So now they attack my rook. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep attacking them, but always be careful. Do not get forked by knights. It is very, very easy for you to get forked in some positions. And now you may think, okay, well, you could put pressure on the knight. No, not really, because they would give a discover check and then take. And then you would have a material loss, and that is not something that we want. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to keep it steady. I'm just going to do something really simple, like h3. Moving is very important. The opponent's knight is a little bit awkwardly placed, and we may be able to take advantage of that in the future, but that is not something for now. We may have patience, and we need to have patience when we're playing chess. And now my opponent is going to go here. I go back. If they trade, they could have traded, and I take back and they take back, but it's really a bunch of pressure on the board after I jump my knight, so the position would not really have been that bad for me. I'm going to kick out the knight. They have a few moves that they can pick over here, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take with the pawn. The knight is still under attack, and yes, this is an isolated pawn, but as long as you are able to advance it, it's not really going to do that much of damage. Okay, so they're attacking this, and they have brought themselves into problem, because you can see I'm attacking it and the knight does not really have a good square to go to, which is going to cause them to probably lose it. We're going to trade. After they offer the trade, and I simply take the knight. A simple tactic solves the game, and it's pretty much over. The reason I can say that is because I'm quite confident in my abilities to finish this game off, and you should be confident as well. If you're not confident in such positions, play more, analyze more, and follow this channel. Okay, I didn't actually expect my opponent to resign, but just to sum it up, always try to respond to your opponent's moves. I'm going to keep it short today, and right away I'm going to make another video where we go into this thought process thing a little more, but this is the first few things that you can do. Always try to respond to your opponent moves accordingly. Do not hang anything, and drawing out the arrows can help you in some positions. Like this, you can see the knights are quite unpredictable at times. That is why it's very important for you to sometimes take your time, especially when you're playing time controls where you have longer time. So take your time to see what squares you cannot go to, because the opponent's pieces are protecting them. And then you pick one that is actually quite okay, like this one right here, because after takes, takes. So yeah, this is the entire thought process thing. It's not that complicated, but it takes a little bit of time in order to get into your muscle memory. And after some time, you're going to be doing it subconsciously, which is going to help you win more games because you're not blundering as much. This is the first part of the thought process. I hope you liked the video. Let me know in the comments below, and see you next time.